Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of What's Up with Wendy's podcast. She is a style expert, closet organizer, blogger. We all need someone like her in our life. Lindsay Brooke Weiss is my special guest today.
I am so excited for this show today because fashion can empower you, and I love to talk about fashion. It can make you feel good about yourself, give you confidence, and help you leave an indelible mark on those you meet. Today's my special guest, personal stylist, closet organizer, blogger, on-air style expert, my new friend. Welcome to my show, Lindsay Brooke Weiss of Coco and Cashmere.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Finally.
I know, finally.
I've been following you and stalking you, and everything's great, and I'm having so much fun doing that.
I'm so, literally, I know we've been talking about this for a while now, so I can't believe I'm sitting here with you.
Yes,
Very
you
excited.
are, live and everything. So before we even start, Coco Chanel, an idol of yours and mine, my favorite. Not the namesake of your blog and you. Where does the name come from?
Yeah, so my daughter, who will be 8 next week, her name is Colette.
Happy birthday.
So thank you. And when she was born, we were like, it's such a cute nickname, Coco. So my blog at that time was Lindsay Brooke Style. And I figured, you know what, that's not so catchy. Coco's so cute. So my husband and I, he's good at coming up with that stuff. He came up with the name. He's like, Coco in Cashmere. And then the Cashmere ties it back along with the Coco, which could be Chanel, but it's actually for Colette. But yeah, so that's how we got it.
Lucky her. My God. So take us back to tell us a little bit about you and how this all started, because I find it fascinating and fun and exciting. And we're going to talk also about a day in the life of you and everything else.
So, yeah. So I think since I was young, I've always loved fashion. And I always loved putting outfits together, even from when I was a little girl, doing it for my friends, for my family. So I knew it's the only thing that I could end up doing when I got older. So when I applied to college, I only applied to schools that had fashion design. I figured I would kind of learn the ins and outs and then figure out what I wanted to do. But I always loved the styling aspect of it. And that was the closest major to styling. So I only applied to 4 colleges that had a fashion program. And I ended up choosing Cornell. And it was great. I learned what I loved, which was, again, the styling and the drawing aspect. What I hated, which was the sewing aspect of it. And in all of our classes, whatever we drew, we had to actually sew. So that was not always a fun thing for me. But again, I learned, exactly what goes into making a garment and just making things that would walk down, the runway during our fashion show and everything. And then I parlayed that into internships. So I had different internships with designers. And then the one that really stuck with me was interning at Cosmo magazine. And I was a stylist assistant. And I was like, this is where I need to be.
And Cosmo, that's all I read when I was younger.
It was the heyday of it.
Yes.
I interned for, he's no longer with us, which is sad, but a man named Clyde Brual. He was amazing. He put a lot of confidence and trust in me. And I assisted him on every shoot. And I was 18, 19. And that solidified that that's the career I wanted to be in. So fast forward, I ended up working I was Nina Garcia's second assistant at Elle magazine, which was definitely interesting. A little Devil Wears Prada going on there. But I learned exactly what goes into a magazine.
I had her on the show before.
She was very nice. But again, I was her second assistant, so I didn't have all that much contact. There was a little bit of a barrier. But
it's the experience and the name.
It was an experience, and it threw me right in there. Magazines now are a little bit different. Things are totally different because there's no social media. It's just you're in there. People were smoking in closets. It was just a completely different vibe than what goes on now. But yeah, I learned what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I figured, let me go into PR. So at that point, I worked for Punch PR. I had 2 amazing bosses, and I basically ran the showroom of boutique clients that they had, fashion and accessories. And I learned all about the other end of it because that's the flip side of editorial is public relations. Right. So I learned that for about a year and a half. I ran that agency, which was down on Broadway in Soho. And every time an editor would come in, I was kind of assisting them. But I was I want to be the one selecting. I want to be the one picking what goes into the magazines. So flip that around. I ended up going back into editorial, which is where I've stayed basically the whole time. And I worked for Niche Media, which is now Modern Luxury. But I was the fashion and accessories editor for Gotham Magazine, Hamptons Magazine, LA Confidential, Aspen. There were 11 magazines we ran, which was awesome because I styled all the covers, all the inside pages.
So fun.
Yep. And then I was the editorial director at Haute Living Magazine, which was a similar, publication, kind of the high-end luxury. And I broke off on my own at that point. I started my blog. I had people asking if I would personally style them. And that was my favorite part of the job. It wasn't even the writing at that point. It was, being in touch with the actual people I was styling and learning their bodies and what looks best on them and seeing like a change in their confidence. So I kind of broke off on my own. That was years ago, and have had a styling company ever since.
It's amazing. And now with
Thank
social
you.
media, it's so much easier to do these things on your own and to start things on your own.
Right. And before it was people finding me, it's always through just like word of mouth, I feel like. And now it's a lot through Instagram, which I'm so thankful for. A lot of people found me through that and my blog. And
your stories are fabulous.
Thank
I love
you.
to follow your stories. You're so good.
Thank you. It's fun to do.
There was the quote, it's Coco Chanel, who once warned, dress shabbily, they will remember the dress. Dress impeccably, and they will remember the woman. That is so true, right?
I love that. It's
However,
so true.
I'm one to walk to the grocery store go out to the grocery store in my slippers.
Well, you look fabulous right now.
It is. Oh, thank you. Okay. So my number one question.
Okay.
If you walked into my closet, you would cry. It's so
Everybody says
disorganized.
that, and I'm sure it's
I would
not.
be embarrassed for you. Are people like, okay, you say you
But
go.
I'm like, that's my job. It's like you go to a doctor. I always like relate it to that. You go to a doctor, you're like, I don't want to show you what's on my arm. It's like, that's the dermatologist. That's their job. Like my job is to go in there and see what you have. And whenever people think it's like the worst closet I've ever seen, like, trust me, it's not.
You find golden things.
I've seen things where I'm walking and like, I'm not even kidding you, like 4 feet of clothing because people don't hang their stuff up or they buy stuff like, it's just bananas, but it's like, okay. And it also is like a glimpse into certain people's personalities, but like, I love it. And I don't have like, I don't know, I get along so well with my clients. Like we end up, we have this like rapport.
Well, you're like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's like, if you can't have fun doing it, why do it?
But I would cry. So I went a couple years ago, I was like, I'm purging, and I put everything in a bag, and then I never went back to look through the bag, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
once you purged, did you get rid of everything?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Everything.
So that's
and
good.
But I didn't go back in there and recheck. And there was things in there I shouldn't have put in that bag, and I did. So, okay. So put us in a day in the life of you. Someone calls you, Instagrams you, Facebooks you, whatever it is, and they say, help. I need you to organize my closet.
Right. So I either have a call with them to just kind of see like where they're at, or I automatically like send me your email address and I'm going to send you like my little pitch email, like how I work. And it just goes through exactly how I work. There's like different routes we can kind of go, but for the most part, it entails me going into somebody's apartment or home, going through their closet, editing their wardrobe, going through purging stuff, because a lot of times like I'll have people who are like, oh, I already just edited stuff and purged, but let's just go through. And in an hour or two, we're like, oh my God, we just got rid of half your closet. Because there are things in there where I'm like, you're not wearing this, or you've had this since you're 17 and you're 37 right now. Like,
I have a couple of those things.
Yeah. And if it's like a good piece or something that's sentimental, I totally get. But when it's like an H&M top that has like stains on it, it's like, okay, that's got to go. It's taking up valuable space. No matter where you live, like your closet, there's only so much room.
Right.
And I always say you want to be able to move your hangers from side to side, because if you don't, you literally are like stuck, which most people are, wearing like the same 4 things because they're like, I can't even be bothered. Like, I don't even know what to wear.
Right.
So I kind of go in and I explain that process. Then I organize the closet. I have a way of like a labeling system so you can pull out a shirt and know exactly what it's being paired with. So that's helpful for people, especially in the morning when they're getting dressed. Instead of putting on their, workout clothes and staying in them, they're like, okay, when I get home, I'm going to shower. I'm going to put this on, and it's detailed. Or we do photo albums where they can go through and see everything, which is even more visual, laid out. And I pack for a lot of people too. So
that's
like
the worst.
Today, actually, I'm going to one of my clients who I packed her for LA. She's now going from LA to Toronto last minute and needs totally different clothing because it's clearly freezing there. So I'm going to her apartment. We're packing the bag, leaving with her doorman, and she will have the bag shipped right to Toronto.
All right. Okay. Now we're going to get off the closet for a minute and get to the pack. I am the worst packer. If I'm going for 2 days.
Right. You pack a ton.
Everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, maybe I want this. Well, maybe I want that. Or
maybe
I
it's
need
snow when it's 80
4
degrees.
white T-shirts instead of 2 white T-shirts. It's terrible.
Right. So I think packing for most people, if not everybody, is super stressful because, like you said, it's like you don't know what the temperature is, you don't know what you're going to wear, so you throw it all into a bag. I always yell at my husband for doing this because this is still to this day what he does. So my whole thing is I figure out, okay, you're going for 6 days. You're there for 6 days, 6 nights, whatever it is. We get down to like your plain outfit, what you're wearing there and back. That's laid out. down to each day what you're wearing. Okay, you're at the pool. This is your cover up for this day. This is your workout outfit for this day. So there's nothing extra. Maybe there's an extra t-shirt, but then you're wearing the same plain outfit home. You're just swapping out what's under the hoodie, your t-shirt or tank. And it takes the guesswork out. And it's literally like, okay, you have 3 nights in Miami. You don't need your 6 night outfits because then you're freaking out. You're standing in front of the mirror. You're driving your husband crazy. And you're like, what am I wearing? And it's expensive to be on vacation.
Or driving your kids crazy.
Or your kids. And you're wasting valuable time. Like I always say, it's like you pay a lot of money. And there's only so much time you can go on vacation. And it's like you should make the most of every minute and you shouldn't be wasting it, deciding what in your, bag that you're wearing. It should be all planned out.
Lindsay Brooke Weiss, everyone needs you in their life. It's like now I definitely know how I need you in my life and why you came. Of Coco and Cashmere. You can follow her on Instagram at Coco and Cashmere, and you can cocoandcashmere.com. So easy. Wow. You really just laid it out there now, didn't you? If you could see, and my daughter, she's really good at packing, so she like rolls everything. Oh, yeah. So I can even fit more things in there. Yeah.
And it's good too, the packing cubes. Those are really good. Have you ever seen those?
No.
So like they sell them on Amazon. They're these like nylon collapsible little like square bags. And a lot of my clients love those because we can do like socks and underwear and bras in one and bathing suits and cover-ups and T-shirts in one. And then it's like you really can like jam those into a bag. But it can be dangerous because then people are like, oh, I have all this room. Let me just keep throwing this stuff in. So they're not a necessity, but it does help in like the organizational aspect of it.
Oh my God. I can't. And I have an issue, and I don't know if your clients have an issue and you have an issue with this, but if I like something, I might buy 3 or 4 of the same thing.
Oh my God. So that's so funny you said that because that's like the major thing that I deal with a lot of people. The second I walk in, I always say, in like 2 minutes, I know somebody's style. I know what their problem is. And lately I have clients and like they all admit they'll go to like Banana or J. Crew and be like, oh, so I bought this shirt and it was on sale for $12. So I bought 5 of them, one in every color. And meanwhile, we end up getting rid of all 5 because I'm like, 1, it's like the quality's not great. 2, you picked weird color. Like, let's not do this. I'd rather you put the money towards one nicer T-shirt that you're going to live in because the chances are, unless they're wearing those 5, which usually they're not, they buy things in bulk. And if it is something where you're like, this is the best fit ever, then I'll be like, get the white, gray, and black T-shirt. Like, you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Those are my colors.
Right. Yes. See, they're like neutrals. They go with everything.
Navy. I like navy, too. I'm a big Navy fan.
I love Navy.
But my problem is I'm obsessed, and I've always been obsessed with T-shirts. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
So if I
read that about you. You're like a T-shirt and jeans girl.
Yeah. But if I see a T-shirt I like, and there was a store it happened because when I first moved to New York City, there was this one store and it was a T-shirt store.
Right.
And it had the coolest stuff in it. It was like number 55.
That's actually a good idea. I feel like there aren't any like
I know. I wanted to create that.
Oh,
like just a T-shirt, basics like crew neck. I know I shouldn't be giving this away on live stuff. A V-neck, a crew neck in every single color, so someone just can come in there and grab their stuff and have the basics.
Right.
Because after a while, you get rid of them.
And like your fit. Like if you know, like I know Monroe fits me great, or I know whatever the brand is, Hanes, whatever, it fits me great. It's like, okay, then make that your go-to. But you don't need 100 of them. People like stock up. The whites I get because it's like white gets a little dirty. But otherwise, it's like everything should have purpose and like spark joy and have a reason that it's in your closet. It shouldn't just be because it was a good deal. Because even if it was $10, you're still spending $10 that you might not have needed to spend. Or put that towards the bigger purchase item that you've been, coveting.
We're going to talk about big purchase items and items that we need to have, staples in our closet. How do we build a basic wardrobe?
Okay, so...
And by the way, there's so many different types. There's for the working mom and stay-at-home mom. There's for the working and stay-at-home mom. There's for the one that does it all.
Right. So, everybody's style obviously is a little bit different, but I feel like, do you mean like key pieces? Like what key pieces should somebody have in their wardrobe? Okay. So I think... jeans, I feel like are a staple. Some people don't wear jeans, but I feel like you and I love our jeans.
Yes.
And T-shirts. Back to the T-shirts, like a good fitted T-shirt. I'm into bodysuits lately, which I can't
get into them anymore.
Like I'm wearing one under this blazer, and I just feel like it sucks you in. It like tightens, and it like is like a sleeker look. Because otherwise, the T-shirt's like baggy with the jeans. Again, not for every day, but like I don't know, it's just like a little nicer of a look.
And they're very in now.
And they make T-shirt bodysuits. Like every brand makes that too. So it looks like you're wearing a T-shirt, but it's not like rising up in your jeans.
Right.
Okay, boots. So I love like a flat, whether it's like a combat boot or like a moto boot. Oh, look at you and your zip up. Exactly.
Zara.
Wendy's in a
favorite.
I know.
Favorite store.
I love Zara. I know. I do my hauls on Instagram.
Yes.
My IGTV. I do like I was just there 2 days ago doing that. Right. So like because during the day, it's like I'll wear a heel during the day, but it has to be like a wider heel that I can like run around like all day to night in. So I love a flat boot like that. I think if you're into sneakers, like a cute pair of sneakers, again, doesn't have to be like Golden Goose, expensive sneakers. You can do.
Isn't that the price of those crazy?
I know. And now, like, I don't know. I'm obsessed with like the Nike Air Force One, like the high tops, and they can be like $100. I'm like, these are freaking cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like